Here's how my 9-month-old sleeps through the night from 6:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. almost every night. After seeing the magic of this happen with 3 babies now, I knew I had to share these tips on helping your baby become a great sleeper. Welcome back to my channel, Rested, Recovered, Radiant Motherhood, where I want to share all things on pregnancy, postpartum recovery, and baby sleep to help you create a rested, peaceful home for your family. So this is a typical night for my 9-month-old when we're home. We get dinner and then she goes to bed sometime between 6 and 7, but by 7 p.m. usually at the latest right now. And then around 9:30 or 10 p.m. I go in and I give her a dream feed where I leave all the lights off. I don't wake her up. I just pick her up, feed her, and lay her right back down as long as she doesn't need a diaper change. And then she sleeps through the night until 6:30 a.m. and sometimes she will even lay there happily for 10 to 15 minutes to give me a little extra sleep. I'm here to say this is possible for your baby too. This has not just come naturally. There are things that I have done from the very beginning to set up a great sleep foundation to where now she is a great sleeper and it's almost effortless. So these are my top 6 things I have done to help her be a great sleeper. I do have more tips that go along with baby sleep, but this is my top tips for helping your baby sleep through the night and sleep later in the morning. The first thing is I have practiced laying her down completely awake from birth. So maybe not for every single nap. Contact naps are fine, car naps are fine, naps in the stroller are fine, but for at least 1 nap a day and at bedtime, I started laying her down totally awake in the crib from birth. And yes, sometimes I've had to help her to sleep, but I try my best not to feed her to sleep or pick her up or rock her to sleep, teaching her that being in her crib is time for sleep and that is going to be her designated sleeping place. I also get on an eat, wake, sleep cycle as quickly as I can. Even in those newborn days, try to keep her awake during a feeding and have a little bit of space between feeding and going back down for that first nap so that she starts to disassociate feeding from sleeping. Beginning around 4 weeks old, as long as your baby is gaining weight and is healthy and is cleared by your pediatrician, you can start helping her get 1 longer stretch of sleep in a 24-hour period. Typically, we would want this to be at night so that it syncs with your sleep. Up until this point, you're feeding your baby every 2 to 3 hours throughout the day and night, but beginning at 4 weeks, she can go 1 longer stretch of sleep up to 4 hours between a feeding. So as long as she's getting great calories in during the day and you're feeding her every 2 to 3 hours during the daytime, at nighttime she should be able to go a little bit longer before needing to eat. And a lot of times babies start to eat out of habit rather than hunger. So you're just teaching her little by little each night to stretch her little tummy a little bit longer. Not saying let her cry for hours, we're just saying help her go a little bit longer, even 10 to 15 minutes longer than the previous night. So that by 8 weeks old, she could be going 8 hours between a feeding, giving you a nice 8-hour stretch of sleep. And by 12 weeks old, she can be sleeping 12 hours through the night. Newborns are really sleepy, so they might sleep in during the day, but I do try to start a consistent wake-up time by 7 a.m. every day. This will move earlier and earlier as your baby is 4 months and older, so she might have trouble sleeping longer than those early morning wake hours between 4 and 6 a.m. So you can start to try to help her sleep until 6 a.m. beginning around 4 to 6 months and lasting all into childhood and toddlerhood. 6 a.m. is really the earliest time that you should be getting your baby up. So I do try to start that right away, as those early morning waking hours can be a little tricky. I try not to get her up out of bed for feeding until at least 6 a.m. And then once I do get her up, I try to give at least 5 minutes between getting her up and feeding her so that she's not connecting waking up with eating right away. If you're consistent with this in the earlier months between months 4 and 6, by 8 or 9 months, this will be your baby's norm, and she will naturally sleep past 6 a.m. and even surprise you sometimes and sleep until 7 a.m. There are days when I have to wake my baby up because it's really not great to have her in the crib longer than 12 hours from bedtime, and 7 a.m. is just a great time to start the day to make sure you're getting in enough calories during the day and enough wake time so that she sleeps great the next night too. I do have a specific protocol on how I have helped my baby go back to sleep at night in those early months without a feeding. If you are interested, I do have 2 sleep guides, one for the first 2 months of life and one for months 3 and 4 to help you set up a great sleep foundation for your baby. I will have a 5 to 12 month guide coming, but it's not available yet. The goal is that by implementing specific strategies in the first 4 months of life, you can have a great sleeper all through that first year of life and into toddlerhood. Thank you for watching. I hope this helps your baby become a great little sleeper so that you can have a rested baby, rested mama, and a peaceful home. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you'd like more videos like this to help you give your little one and your home the gift of sleep.